What's up everyone, KitaSean here. So we're going to go ahead and talk about the latest chapter to FGO-JP, Lost Belt Chapter 3, Kurenai no Gekkabijin, the Crimson Beauty Under the Moonlight. That is a fan translation, by the way. But anyways, putting that aside, for those who came to the stream, thank you for coming. It was really awesome. It was really fun. I can't wait to do it again. They're going to be doing some streams for the winter events. So definitely I will schedule some streams for that so that I can, translate for you guys again. And I'm expecting Christmas, I'm expecting Valentine's, etc. and New Year's updates for these streams. So definitely come check it out. But putting that aside as well, let's go ahead and focus on Lost Belt Chapter 3. So I know this information was already released last night, and you guys probably already know it by translations from Twitter and Facebook, etc. But I wanted to go through it and put my input on it as well. But the story is set in China, confirmed. It is during the Qi Dynasty. That's what you guys said in the comments. It's Qi, not Quinn. I apologize. Basically, that tells you how much I know about Chinese history. But the story is written by Uro Bochigen. For those who don't know who he is, he has written stories such as Fate Zero, Psychopaths, as well as Madoka Magica. Basically a lot of great anime series, and he is known to kill off a lot of characters. He is the butcher, so we are expecting someone to die in this chapter, at least one or two characters. So yeah, don't get too attached to a lot of these characters that are introduced in this chapter. But Akuto Hinako is going to be the main antagonist. I believe there might be some other servants and bosses in here, who knows. I'm still going through the chapter right now. I'm like maybe 20-30%. But the trailer here, I will leave a link down below for you guys to watch yourselves. A lot of questions I want answered in this chapter from this trailer. There are a couple things that I actually have an eye out on, but the link will be down below for you guys to watch yourselves. And of course, Akuto Hinako is going to be the main cryptor, and I cannot wait to see what her secret is. Like, she is definitely hiding a lot of things about herself, so definitely looking forward to see who she really is. So there are two new ascension items for this chapter. We have a core and we have some bells. These two ascension items or skill up items will definitely be used for the new servants that were introduced in this chapter. And then we also have a new bond item. This Chaldea Dreamfire, I guess that's the official translation for this, will allow you to go past bond 10. So now your servants could go up to bond 15. This is a pretty rare item to get. Right now you can actually get it for 1 mana prism in the mana shop, so definitely pick that up and definitely choose wisely on who you want to put it on. So let's go ahead and talk about it a little bit more, because there's actually a lot of explaining to do about this new item. So again, this new item allows you to unlock some new bonds after bond 10, and it will give you a new cosmetic icon for each bond. And of course, you need to use this item and some QP in order to unlock it. I believe it was 10 million QP in order to unlock it, so definitely grind some QP in order to do it. And of course, for each level bond that you do, you will get some quartz, and it's going to be a 10 shot for each level. So that's a lot of quartz, that's a lot of 10 shots, so definitely worth it. Now the question is, how much is it to bond one more level? I was told it was 10 million for the first one. I cannot even imagine what the other levels are going to be, but 10 million is a lot, and that's a lot of grinding to do. So definitely grind it out in order to get those quartz. So in the latest update, Jinkei and Spartacus got some new animations when it comes to Noble Phantasm and regular attacks. Jinkei, I knew she was going to play a big role because of the Qi Dynasty. She played a huge role in the assassination of the king. And then we also have Spartacus. I think Spartacus and Mordred, the reason why they're in this chapter is because of Urobuchigen, but I might be wrong, who knows. But yeah, they have animation updates. I'll leave links down below for you guys to watch it yourselves. And then of course we have the gacha, and we have some pretty crazy servants that we did not expect to see, but let's go ahead and talk about them right now. So the Lost Belt Chapter 3 pickup summon will introduce us to 3 new servants: a new 4-star Saber, a new 4-star Lancer, and a 5-star Berserker. We're also gonna be getting 3 new CEs, which we'll talk about those as well. But the reason why Jinkei is in this gacha is because she plays a big role. I mean, she's already permanent, and she's just getting a rate up because of this chapter. But the 3 servants you see in front of you will also be permanent in the gacha from now on. So before we talk about the servants, let me just say that I have not spoiled myself when it comes to their skills. Like, I did not look at their skills whatsoever yet, so I can't really fully say that they're strong and stuff like that. But looking at their noble phantasms and their stats, I can say that on paper they're pretty good. But again, I can't really fully say that, hey, this is an OP servant. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and talk about the servants now. So we're going to go ahead and talk about the 5-star berserker Zhang Yu. Now, I know what you guys are going to say, wow, this guy does not look like a Fate character, but I can assure you, yes, it is a servant from Lost Belt Chapter 3. There's actually a backstory on why he looks like this. I'm still reading the chapter, so apparently in Chapter 3 they explain why he turned out to become this form. I definitely want to read his lore and everything like that. But he's actually as big as Yvonne the Terrible in the game, so which is pretty crazy. I actually fought him once. But yeah, I'm actually really excited to see what he's all about. But he is a quick servant that has an AoE Noble Phantasm. And basically, the Noble Phantasm powers up for 1 turn on overcharge. So honestly, there's really not much to his Noble Phantasm. Kind of wish they did a little bit more. But depending on his skills, I think he would work very well with Scotty. Any Scotty team, any quick team would definitely help. So yeah, I have not looked at his skills and anything like that, so I can't say for sure. But being a quick servant obviously means that he works very well with Scotty, so I think he's going to be pretty up there just by looking at his Noble Phantasm. So the 4-star Saber is actually pretty interesting, but story-wise, this is the servant of Akito Hinako, which is very surprising. I really thought that she was going to summon a rider, but she has a saber instead. I mean, last chapter we actually had the Cryptor Ophelia have a saber, so this was actually pretty surprising to see. But Gao Changgong is going to be the 4-star Saber. I apologize if I'm butchering that, but apparently this servant has many different names, the Prince of Liang Ling, and so on. But I actually predicted that this servant was going to be going under that name. But this Noble Phantasm is an Arts Noble Phantasm. It is a debuff and buffer Noble Phantasm. So in a way, this servant is a support type servant. So the Noble Phantasm reduces all enemy Noble Phantasms charged by 1, reduces all enemy critical damage, and then allied attack power up for 3 turns on overcharge, and decreases all damage received by 3 turns. Seems like a pretty strong Noble Phantasm in my opinion. And again, I haven't really spoiled myself when it comes to the skills, but according to my friend, his skills are actually pretty good. Like, he has some pretty good buffs and stuff like that. So again, I have not looked at it yet, so I can't really say for sure, but according to my friend, he's actually pretty strong. So I'm actually really looking forward to see him and using him as well. So out of the 3 servants, the 4-star Lancer really surprised me the most. This is Qing Liang Yu, I believe. I had no idea who she was when they first introduced her to FGO. I'm gonna look her up and everything like that, but according to a lot of you guys during the live stream, she's supposed to be some really famous Chinese female general, which is pretty cool. But she's an arts servant. She has a single target to herself Noble Phantasm. I mean, just look at the text. Like, that's crazy. Like, that's a lot of text. I think she's the first servant to have that much text in a Noble Phantasm. But the effect on her Noble Phantasm is basically a buff to herself, and inflicts defense down on attack 3 times for 5 turns, dispels buffs on crit attack 3 times for 5 turns, reduce enemy crit damage when hit 3 turns for 5 turns, and heals all allies HP when hit with a critical, does not apply if HP is reduced to 0. So on paper, that effect, that Noble Phantasm seems really, really strong. I just cannot wait to use her. I want to see if it's really strong or not. I mean, again, I have to look at her skills and everything, but that Noble Phantasm seems pretty good. Like, it's definitely a self buff, and I just cannot wait to see what happens. Like, when the art meta comes in, I think this is going to be a pretty strong servant to use. But no, it's crazy. Like, that's a crazy Noble Phantasm in my eyes. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and check out the CEs now. So the CEs, I love the art style, but pretty random that they use Fate Zero characters. I mean, Rin's mom finally got a CE, which I'm actually quite surprised how long it took them to give her one. But the 5-star CE, 20% up Noble Phantasm power up, and then increased overcharge by 2 one time, pretty strong. And then the 4-star CE waiver is going to be gain 4% MP charge per turn, 10% buster up, so definitely a good CE for Buster Servant. And then the 3-star Rin Mother CE is going to be buff success rate 10% up. So they're actually not bad CEs in my opinion. I actually really like them. I'm not exactly sure if I'll use them, but definitely art style, I love it, and I think they're definitely worth to collect. But yeah, it's basically about it. I mean, there's really not much to talk about. I'm still playing chapter 3 right now. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are finished with it, but I'm taking my time reading the story. I want to know what happens and everything like that, because this story seems pretty good so far. But I'm expecting a lot of things to happen because it's a Robochigen. So, but yeah, that's basically about it. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope this helped out a little bit. And once I finally read out the servant skills and stuff like that, I'll talk about them in another video. But yeah, that's basically about it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Laters.